Your newest book, Fascinate, first off, the title, I mean, it was Fascinate. I mean, it took me back, and I was wondering, where did that come from? Because one of the things that I've been a big fan of is Kevin Roberts' love marks. And kind of like that whole thought of how people engage with brands, love brands, literally tattoo brands on themselves, but how do you actually get them to that point? So I kind of wanted to get sort of your thoughts on where love marks, Fascinate kind of live together, and from a perspective of a student who wants to get as much information and knowledge in building branding and all that.
Love Marks is very much a marketing book. It's very, very literally about the emotion of marketing and how do you elicit that emotion, what messages can you create that will bring that out and create an attachment. Fascinate, my agent was the publisher for Malcolm Gladwell's Blink, and my editor was the editor on the Heath Brothers book Made to Stick. So it's much more about neurology and evolutionary biology and non-marketing oriented things to draw upon a new sort of explanation of why do we do the things that we do? Why are we persuaded by some messages and not others? Why do we fall in love with some people and not others? Why do certain brands speak to us and earn our trust even if they're an inferior product? And what can we do to hone those triggers over time? And the answers can't just be found in marketing. In Love Marks they are, but this is trying to reinterpret marketing in a much more instinctive way.
Toyota, which 100% was all about trust,
right?
Prestige, two of the triggers, and now they're kind of sitting in, will we survive this? What do they need to do to kind of continue or move forward? What are they going to have to dig inside themselves as a company?
Well, given that somebody may see this conversation in 6 months, so just to frame it up, what Toyota did is that they were all about repetition and consistency and reliability and stability and safety. And if you can always count on us to behave and act and provide you with a service that is one particular way of serving the customer. And then they broke it with not issuing the recall. Well, first of all, having mechanical issues, then not issuing the recall fast enough, et cetera. So the trust was broken on multiple levels. And the trust is the most important trigger that you can earn, but it's also the most delicate, because once somebody breaks your trust, it's a major break in expectations. It's very hard to get that back, because as much as you can say, oh no, you can trust me again, you have to earn it all the way back up again. Over the last week, Toyota has done some incredible things. They've made a lot of great strides. They suddenly, about a week ago, it's like suddenly they realized, oh wait, this isn't just a PR mess. This is actually, the stock price has gone down $3 billion, and the recall is $2 billion, and now all of a sudden there are all these class action lawsuits about it. And they've responded in a really nimble, aggressive social media campaign. So I think they're doing what they need to do, which is they've acknowledged the problem. They're doing what Tiger Woods did when he had the press conference. Right. Acknowledge the problem, take responsibility for it, tell the world what you're going to do to change, ask for another chance, and then earn that back. And
so that's how they'll get into that trust trigger, reestablish
Yes, exactly. That. Like, for example, if you look at Tylenol, when Tylenol had the cyanide poisoning, what Tylenol did is they did something that Toyota did not do. They instantly pulled off $100 million of product off the shelves, and they set up a 1-800 call number, which at the time, this was pre-internet, I mean, that was revolutionary. And then within 6 months, they had created an entirely new type of seal to go around the packaging, which is the foil packaging that we now take for granted on these kinds of drugs. So they had very tangible badges of the changes that they were going to make, and it wasn't just saying, oh, you can trust us again, it was saying, here's what we're going to do to make sure, very active, concrete, tangible steps of what they're going to do to make sure this never happens again. And I think Toyota needs to do that. I think they need to have tangible evidence, not just not just the metal plate that's going to go under the brake pad.
Not a bandage, an actual change.
A symbol.
And a redefinition, really.
Yes, an emblem.
Automaker,
They need to redefine some aspect of the category. They need to do something that nobody in the category has ever done before in terms of making sure this problem never happens again. Because if you remember, Audi, when this happened to Audi, it took them 15 years to get trust back, and Audi never even had a problem. It was all just a smear campaign by 16 minutes. So Audi never had a problem. It took them 15 years to get their valuation back. Hopefully it'll happen more quickly with Toyota, but I think they need something that's more tangible.
And I guess that's where things like social media have certainly had a big impact on how a company has to reestablish itself. I mean, that Toyota story would have just been on the evening news. Now it's on everyone's personal cell phone. It's like instant, like everybody was talking Toyota within seconds. So
they couldn't hide.
Yeah, there was no place to hide, which is, Domino's is another one that I'm kind of looking at right now with quite a lot of interest. I mean, here's a company who nobody said anything. I mean, they just out of nowhere decided, we're going to just tell you that we've rechanged our taste, the cardboard, that was totally voluntary.
Yes, yeah, it was great. What a huge risk. I mean, hats off to them, and of course the campaign behind it and the strategy. The only other time I've seen that happen is there was a campaign for Tom McCann shoes. It's probably about 1991, and they said, we apologize for the styles of the last few years. The merchandise fell off our truck, and we just found it again, which is why you've been wearing stuff from the 80s this whole time from us. It's the only other time I've seen a brand say, apologies for the suckiness.
Yeah, now we're back and trust us, or reestablish that.
See, they never overtly did anything wrong. There was no break in trust. Domino's never promised they were going to give you a good pizza. You didn't expect it, so it was okay. It's like you don't fly on Southwest Airlines for gourmet food. So when you don't get gourmet food,
when your
expectations are low, then it's easy to exceed them. The problem is Toyota set very high expectations.
Under promise, over deliver.
Yes, yeah, exactly.